Hello, folks. Welcome to this examination. It's sort of a awry examination because I wanted to do Old Speckled Hen and I could not find the beer. I'm joined tonight from one of the New England reviewers, Nate K. He's going to get his beer. Eric wanted to join us. He found Old Speckled Hen, but he had to do band practice tonight. That's part of it. You know, when you're in a rock and roll band, got to do band practice. John was not able to join us. Jean said he might be late. And, he was running late. Other people just could not find the stinking beer. It's hard for the California people to join us because it's only 4:30 in California, and it's just very inconvenient. And the people in England that would like to join us most of the time, they are unable to because it's 10:30 at night. One night I remember Stuart was doing a hangout with us and he laid down and he fell asleep. He was tired, you know, he was at work. Okay, so Old Speckled Hen, you found it. I was so irritated. I went to 6 different stores. I think I should have checked, and I'll show you what beer I have tonight, which is totally inappropriate. It's Carta Blanca.
Oh, cool.
From Mexico. I think it's 4.5% alcohol. It's got a code L6. I guess that means 2016 111th day. I did get this at Ralph's grocery store. It was $1.99 for the quart bottle, but it rang up incorrectly, so they had to go check the tag, and they said, yeah, that's right. It's $1.99 plus tax. Oh, this I have to go get a different opener. This one won't grab it.
All right.
You can tell us a little bit about.
For sure. So this Old Speckled Hen is labeled as a fine English ale, brewed in Suffolk, if I'm not mistaken. Not a part of England I've been to. The first time I actually had this beer was actually in London. And I was visiting with my family, and my father bought a 4-pack. So I'm used to seeing these in the cans. They have like tall boy cans.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're as big as our tall boys necessarily. I think they're actually just pints. But I was looking for that this time at the store, and I saw these in a 6-pack, which is something I've never seen before. But I guess it happens. I guess they have 6-packs, and this is a little pricey, I'd say, for what it is, at $11.99. But what it is, I guess, is something that we'll kind of get to as the examination progresses.
It's pretty interesting. Now, you had family in England, or you just visited?
My sister was studying abroad with Boston University. They actually have a Boston University in England, believe it or not.
Huh. A campus.
They're that big. So
here's my beer port. Gets a thick head, golden. So bubbly. Smells good. Okay. It looks like your bottle is maybe bigger than 11.2 ounces. Maybe it's 16.9, or is it? Sometimes
you know, it poured a little bit. It says it's a 12 ounce, but it poured a little bit larger than I expected it to be. And this is my Sam Adams Boston Lager, so it is what it is. But I don't remember most 12 ounces going up to this far on the cup, but maybe I'm just imagining it.
Yeah.
It does say it's a solid 12 ounces.
Okay. The cans I saw in the past were the 16.9 ounces, which is 500 milliliters.
Yep.
I did get those a few times. I did see in the past the 12-ounce bottles, I believe, and I did see the big single 16.9-ounce bottles. In England, and maybe in America, they have those cast cans, you know, those draft cans, draft packs.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen those pictures on the internet. I think if I would have gone to, I was thinking about this when I was getting this other Carta Blanca out the fridge. I said, maybe if I'd have gone to Cost Plus World Market or Whole Foods, I might have found it. But I went to 6 other stores. I got so frustrated, and the guy was like, Old Speckled Hen. No, I hadn't seen that in a while. So it got me kind of worried. And then I kept going and going around, and I just said, oh, it's not around here. And I sent an email to the distributor and never got a response. So that's when I got irritated, and I said, you know what? Tonight, it's any beer you want to bring, you know.
Right, and I have that one too. But you know what's interesting now? I know we haven't gone to tasting it or anything like that yet, but I had the first one I had today of this was about room temperature.
Yeah.
Which, in my understanding of English beer, which is very limited, room temperature would often be a more appropriate temperature for drinking English beer, or might be.
Well, of course, you got to remember now, over there, room temperature might be 62 degrees, you know. I've seen a lot of these pub photos where they're wearing pretty heavy sweaters inside the pub. So in Louisiana, if you wouldn't want to drink at room temperature, I'm pretty sure.
but
you're right. They do drink them more room temperature. Now, we have a fellow Southerner, former Northerner from the Atlantic coast. Now he's on the Gulf Coast. Jean-Pierre, I thought you were going to be late. You're just a little bit late.
Yeah, a little bit late. Let me go ahead and get my beer. But I was going to say, you know, the guy with the sweater, also with the pipe tobacco, you know, smoke like, cheerio, my good friend.
And they have the fox on their website. And if you get on the Old Speckled Hen website, there's a little animated fox or maybe computer generated, I don't know. And he talks about the beer, you know, and little cute commercials. You know, oh, and there's Dave Coulter. We got the whole gang coming in. Now, Dr. Dave.
Yes, sir.
He's mixing something. Okay. Dave's
got a mixed drink.
Making a mixed drink. Well, that's getting crazier and crazier. Okay. Nate. Now,
yeah.
We got Nate from New England, Dr. Dave from Ohio, myself from Louisiana, Jean from Alabama. What are you drinking, Dr. Dave?
That's a secret.
Okay. I'm drinking.
No, it's some pumpkin with a little bit of extra spice in it. I put a little bit of extra cinnamon in it.
Oh, you put a little extra spice in it.
Yeah, but that's what I was stirring. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm late. I was at Walmart. I wanted to go buy some cinnamon. I thought it was going to be like an in-and-out deal, but you know, when you go to Walmart, it's not simple in and out.
No, you're right. It's mostly like a big headache. Nate says he's got to get up and go do something in a minute, but you'll be back, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, Old Speckled Hen, interesting beer, which we could not find. But I think but I was at World Market just about 2 weeks ago when I bought the Heineken Dark, and I don't recall seeing Old Speckled Hen or Twisted Thistle or Green King IPA or any of those. And I used to see those all around. I did see a few Bellhaven beers in New Orleans, and I saw what's that other Green King beer? Abbott Ale. I saw some cans of Abbott Ale, but a 4-pack of Abbott Ale was $10.99. I said, whoa, never mind. Even though it's an interesting English ale. But anyway, okay, so I almost feel like it has more flavor at room temperature. It really is different cold. Yeah, Stuart Pickard, our friend from Yorkshire, England, he just will not drink refrigerated beers.
Everything has to be room temperature, huh?
Yeah, and if you get it really cold, he's not going to drink. I mean, he's just not going to drink it. Okay, now, but that's a personal preference. Yeah, buddy. Malt liquor project. What you know about that? What you know about that?
That's right.
What you know about this?
Friend, Mr. Guinness.
Okay, now,
malt liquor.
Okay. Now, oh yeah, I'm drinking out of this Rogue glass. You shameless beggar. Now,
we'll let that be, Jay.
I'm just playing along with a fantasy. Hey, but anyway, back to the story. This beer, right? This beer company, Moreland, I think it was Moreland. They got bought out by Green King. All right. It's just like in America, these companies buying each other out all the time. You've heard of the little car, the MG, little English cars. So the company was celebrating their 50th anniversary of the MG, 29 to 79. And they got in a contract with Moreland, and they said, we want you to create a special 50th anniversary ale to celebrate this car's birthday. And so they said, well, okay. So they worked on it, and I guess the car company said, oh, yeah, it tastes really good. Let's do that. Well, while they were working on it, they were trying to think of a name. And they used to use this old rickety car to deliver beer parts and beer material around the brewery, right? And that old car was so rickety and spotted up. The paint was all spotted, had bird droppings on it, that the nickname of the car was the Old Speckled One. But you know, in that English drawl, they would say, the Old Speckled Hen, the Old Speckled Hen, go get the Old Speckled Hen. And it's that, and some people would hear it and they would say, what do you mean an old speckled hen? No, not an old speckled hen. Ha ha ha, my boy, Old Speckled Hen. And so it became like a joke. And so they named the beer the Old Speckled Hen after the car, and then the 50th anniversary. And so now they've got 4 in the line. Old Crafty Hen, which is like a craft style lager. The Old Speckled Hen, the original. They've got Old Hoppy Hen. And what's the 4th one? The Old Golden Hen.
And, you know, I saw it, Jay, I saw it at the store, and I said, I really wanted to try it. But like I said, that $12.99, well, $12.49, whatever, for a 6-pack of that in Alabama, I'm sure it's probably cheaper where you are. And I'm sure for Dave and for Nate, it's probably cheaper there. But when I saw the price, I was like, I don't know.
How much? You said how much was it? 14?
$12.49 for a 6-pack.
It was $15.99 here. I couldn't find a single.
It was $11.99
single too
here.
Well, honestly, Jean, that beer is priced kind of high because they selling it. They claim it's like a gourmet ale, and they're trying to sell it at a elevated price point. So if you get on their website, they're like saying, well, this is a specialty English ale, and basically they're saying you want to step up to Old Speckled Hen, you got to pull out the cash. Well, I mean, you know, I don't blame you for not paying all that though. But I've had it in can version. I've had it in bottle. In England, you can get it in draft. Maybe in America, some of these specialty places. And I have a feeling that on draft, it would be way better.
You know what? If I were still living in downtown Cleveland, I would have done this review live from our pub that serves it on draft, because it is really good. But it is an imperial pint, you know, 20 ounces, $7.50. Still pretty pricey though to me.
Yeah, but how would you say, how much better would you say it is on draft compared to can or bottle?
There's no comparison, Jay. That beer really has some good, nice, lovely floral hops in there. Nice bready malts. I mean, that beer is so well balanced between the hops and the malts and the Smithers. Yeah, the finish. The finish is really smooth on that thing. I like that beer. That's a really, really good beer on draft. I highly recommend it on draft.
Yeah, and Green King, they've been brewing beer since I think they said like 1759. It might say it on that bottle. So they didn't just start brewing beer last year. And the English are well known for making exemplary ales. I've tried their Twisted Thistle, which was dynamite. The Abbott Ale is dynamite. No, I do not work for the company, and I don't recall getting any free beer from them, although, do you hear me, Green King? Hey,
You're bad. You're very bad.
No, I'm just saying, but I did get, all jokes aside, about 2 years ago, I did get contacted by Fuller's, another really renowned British ale company. And the lady was like, would you like us to send you Fuller's Vintage Ale to do a video?
Sure.
Nah, I don't want that, you know. So So yeah, so they sent me the Fuller's Vintage Ale in a box, and then it had a little booklet, and it described each vintage ale they had ever made back to 1997, I think it was, and it was all about the beer, you know. And I did a video, and it was really good. And we can still get Fuller's Vintage Ale around here. I remember one time I was in a store, and that beer, they'll say it needs to be drunk before like 2025, you know. You can age it. They say they recommend you aging it, and they say on the little card, they say, we're required by the government to put a best by date, but in our opinion, you could age it much past that date. But I reached back on the shelf at that store, Dorignax, and they had 2009, 2010, 2011, 12, 13. I remember I just bought them all one day, and it was $7.99 a bottle, but I didn't pass it up because I knew that that would be the only time in my life I could ever buy a vertical of Fuller's Vintage Ale. Of course, I made the mistake of drinking 2 in a row on Mardi Gras 2014. So if you watch the video, it takes me like 14 minutes to complete a 1-minute sentence because I was like, well,
I remember
you made it home safe, right?
I made it home safe because I was at home. It rained so bad on Mardi Gras Day that nobody went to the parades, and the whole thing was a washout. And I was all irritated.
2014, you said?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was coming down pretty hard here in Mobile.
Oh, yeah, it was like 48 degrees and pouring down raining. And I was like, oh, man, I was so irritated. I just sat in my house drinking Fuller's Vintage Ale one after the other. But it kind of impacted my my cognitive abilities. Somebody said I looked like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs the way I was going on. What is that?
This is a Pride of Cleveland. This is the original recipe from the 1940s.
Craft.
Is that an old beer brand?
This is made by Cellar Rats, which just changed its name. It's about 15 miles from where I'm at right now. But this is one of the very best Pilsners, in my opinion.
Yeah, you did that Genesee Pilot series.
Well, that was a great beer.
And that proved that a macro can do anything if they put their mind to it.
You know what? I had the entire series of that beer, and I thought that they were all very, very good. But I haven't seen them around lately, so I think that was a limited release.
Yeah, it was. Hey, before we go on there, I'm talking. Nate, you got the old Speckled Hen, so could you do us a big favor and give us a rundown of the appearance, aroma, flavor, body, finish, and if you would buy it again?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll tell you, this is a second impression of it for me. The last time I had this was in 2008 in downtown London, I believe. Actually, it was in Hyde Park, not exactly downtown London, but anyways, it has kind of a dark, kind of amber color to it. It had a decent head when I started with it. Let's see if I have any more to kind of juice up the head at all. Not quite, but it's died down over the past, I guess, 10 minutes that we've been on, somewhere around there. And what I did notice is the first one I had, and I made mention of it earlier, I won't make too much of a big deal about it, but it did taste different. And I would say even in a positive way when it was at a slightly elevated room temperature, which is probably close to 70 degrees here. Not much warmer than that. At the liquor store, they kept the bottles outside of the refrigerator, perhaps maybe for that English kind of, just in case somebody looking for that kind of lukewarm flavor wanted to come in and buy it. This one's been in my refrigerator for at least 4 hours, and it's definitely a different flavor. I would say that the bitterness of the hops is a little bit weaker now. It almost tastes a little bit more watery now than it did when it was warmer. But it's got some real interesting, almost fruity sweet notes to it, which kind of balance with the bitterness which is kind of right up. It's really up front with the bitterness, but not overly bitter. Not like an IPA or something like that. It's really kind of like a nice balanced bitterness. And then on the back edge of it, it's got that sweet kind of malty flavor to it. So.
Yeah, you ever notice how those English ales have almost like that? It's hard to describe. It's like a toffee or caramel thing going on.
Yeah, I can definitely get hints of toffee and caramel in here. Definitely got that. Almost kind of like a bready taste to it too, in there.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Definitely.
Bready malt. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
It's
why I
good
think.
balance.
Yeah, that's
Good
what I mean.
balance.
It's definitely well balanced. It's not overly anything really. It's just kind of balanced. Is pretty much the only word to really describe it. You could use all
Just
sorts of describers, but
You know, sit in a pub and drink the beer and shoot stuff. You know, that's it.
there you go.
It's like 4.5%, isn't it?
5.
This one says it is actually 5% on the bottle.
5%. Okay.
Yep.
Now,
And that's an English ale, right, Nate?
Yes.
Yep. It's a English fine ale.
Fine ale. It's over in England. However, you might pay more like excuse me. Over in England, it's more like at about 3.8% ABV.
That's likely. Yeah.
So they tend to be different on cask. Like they're designed that way, 3.8, because they'll go to a pub and they're not going to drink one pint. Okay. They're going to go out there and session for hours. So they don't want those people just like totally blasted. So at 3.8, they can drink all evening and not have too many big problems, you know.
Yeah.
Great. The whole culture of alcohol is totally different over there. It's really interesting. I mean, most of the pubs in London close at 11, for instance. And it's for that exact reason, is that they were open for the workers. And, you know, they wanted the workers to have fun and play, but also didn't want them to be late for their job at 8 in the morning the next morning.
Right. Yeah, and when I talk to people from England, they'll be shocked. They'll be like, "What? That beer is 5%?" In their mind, it's like incredible, you know, because their typical beer is like 3.8. A really hefty one is 4.2.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, it's like, wow, you know, they do have extra strong beers over there, but they cost a fortune, and apparently, people don't really mess with them. And I know they have some bum juice over there too, what we call high gravity malt liquors over there. But people that have any kind of self-respect in England, they don't really drink that stuff. But
Old English 800.
well, no, they have stuff like Carlsberg Special Brew, which is 10%.
Wow.
That's people that's catching the DTs and they're laying on a park bench and they're drinking a can of it and trying not to have the shakes too bad, you know. I saw some people like Harry Meadows review that beer, and he was like, oh, you know, it was pretty comical. Hey, but Carta Blanca, although they said Winston Churchill, that was his favorite beer, the Carlsberg Special Brew. They actually made it for him when he visited Denmark as prime minister, but they knew he was like a notorious heavy drinker. But anyway, Carta Blanca, Jean, remember we talked about that?
Right.
And we said that it seems like those Mexican beers, even though they're ordinary lagers, they always seem to taste better than American beers.
I agreed. Whether it be that one, Sol, Takata, the Corona Familiar, you know, even though the ABV with that one is the same as the regular Corona, but for some reason that one has the Corona Familiar has a more full body versus the other Corona for some reason. I don't know why.
That's psychosomatic. That's psychosomatic because that's the same beer.
Same beer, brown bottle versus clear bottle. Maybe. I don't know.
You've been to Mexico, Jay. You ever had that beer on tap? Cave or
Carta Blanca? I'll tell you what, this Carta Blanca is better than, I can't think of any American mass-produced lager that can touch it. And this
on
is
tap. I like it.
on draft. Carta Blanca. I'm trying to think of any Mexican beer I've ever had on draft.
I've had most of them.
I've been to Mexico many times, and I've been to bars. I went to Reynosa, and I went to a bar, and I couldn't speak Spanish, and they couldn't speak English, but I mean, they could understand. I want a beer.
Chaveze.
Yeah, I said yo quiero. I said, you know, yo quiero cerveza, por favor. So they said, oh, okay. They brought me Tecate, but it was so good down there, you know. But I don't know if it was so good because it was Mexican. I think it was just so good because it's so damn hot, and I was so hot along the Tec. You know, you go to northern Mexico, the heat is incredible. So when you're drinking an ice cold lager after you've been walking in 101 degrees. You're not going to be so picky, but I went to this place 2 years ago called Arturo's in Nuevo Progreso, and I was eating a wonderful meal, which I posted on Facebook, and they brought me Bohemia, and it was really good. But I don't think I've ever had, to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever had a Mexican beer on draft, and that may be that might be a bad thing because you're saying they're bad. No, I mean I'm being honest, you know.
Yeah, I've had most of them on draft. They're all very good on draft, but in the bottle, I don't know. Just my opinion. But on draft, I can drink them.
Hey, well, this one's in a brown bottle, and I gotta say, and then I'm gonna go to Jean and back to you. And Nate had to go do something. He's gonna come back and tell us if he would buy that beer again. This beer, only $1.99 for a quart. So even if it tasted bad, I wouldn't be in too bad a shape. But it doesn't taste bad. I am noticing some specific hop bitterness at the end of the sip, each sip. And I know that Carta Blanca was developed in 1899 by a German immigrant. So there's something to be said about this beer. No, I'm not going to get on the internet here and talk about how awesome it is. But
what was the cost? Yeah.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what was the cost on that?
It cost me $1.99 plus tax for this quart bottle.
Oh, that's a very good price.
That's 32 ounce, right? No, it's a 16 ounce, right?
32 ounces.
Yeah, that's the same bottle I bought in Atlanta. I'm gonna go visit my brother. 32 ounces. I paid about the same price, maybe like $1.89, I think it was.
Yeah.
For that.
It has something to it. Carta Blanca is an interesting beer. No, I'm not here on the internet talking about how awesome it is, but I am coming on here talking about how it is interesting, and I do think Carta Blanca is worth buying. They do show the gold medals it won. You know, it earned there. Yeah, it's worth trying out. For somebody to get on there and say it's a 0 out of 100 on rate beer, I think that's a joke. I mean, no, it's not the greatest thing, but I'll tell you what, I'm still waiting to find an American beer that can go toe-to-toe with it. And like, for instance, anyway, go. I didn't say anything.
What did you say?
Jean, you describe. No,
you
Dave,
said it all. Boom, boom.
I didn't say. Dave's going to tell us about his beer, and then Jean, and then we'll be back to Nate probably.
Oh, you want me to talk about my beer?
Yeah.
This is a Czech style Pils right here. This is the original Pride of Cleveland. This recipe, I believe, goes back to, I think, the late 1940s, if I'm not mistaken. There was a Pride of Cleveland brewery. I can't remember who had the license for this, but it's a very good beer. It's there's a lot of very good hops in here, very good floral hops. Very, how shall we say, crisp and clean finish on here, but it's just a typical Czech Pilsner. It reminds me a lot of the Pilsner Urquell or the Staropramen from Czechoslovakia, from the Czech Republic, rather.
Yeah.
I always say Czechoslovakia. I'm an old guy. I'm not used to the Czech Republic.
No, me neither. Hey.
But this is a great beer. We had it was 90 degrees here today. Man, this is a really hot fall day, and when I got home from work, this beer really hit the spot. It did. I always like a really light Pilsner. And while we're on the subject, I think a lot of people out there confuse the terms Pilsners and lagers. Pilsner's a style of lager, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. But this right here is a very good medium body Pilsner. It's not light body, it's medium body. It's got some body to it. It really does. And I like it, so that's all I'm going to say about this beer. Try it, you'll like it.
Yeah, this pride of beer. Was it sort of like this beer in New Orleans, like a regional brewery?
No, as a matter of fact, I can post a link real quick over there on the side. You can read about it now or after we sign off. But this was a very popular beer back in the late 1940s, early 1950s. There it is, right there. Let's see where we at here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
I like this website. It's called Ohio Brewery. Let's see. Let me copy and paste it here. Where are we at? We're back over here. There you go, right there.
Okay. Now, while you're doing that, OhioBrewrania.com. I'm going to look that up. Now, Nate, you're back. Tell us, because I kind of got a little off track.
Sorry.
I know you like the beer Old Speckled Hen, but would you buy it again? I don't know. That's kind of expensive, but I mean, either you would or you wouldn't,
Yeah, it was $11.99 for a 6-pack. So you know what? I probably would, and I'll tell you, this is kind of really pleasing for me because my first experience with Old Speckled Hen in London was not a positive one. I was kind of like, why do the English even bother with this at the beginning? But you know what? This is actually a really, I think two things happened. My taste for beer kind of matured a little bit, but also it's possible that the quality of the brewing may have gotten better between, the past 10 years. It's very likely that things could change, but it's definitely a positive thing. I say there wouldn't be a standby, but if I wanted to have something decent, occasionally I do, I might go out and get the Old Speckled Hen.
Okay. And let me ask you one more question real fast. Have you ever tried Old Crafty Hen or Old Golden Hen or Old Hoppy Hen?
No, I never had any of those.
Yeah, I've had the Old Crafty. Yeah. I've had the Old Crafty and I've had the Old Golden Hen. Those were really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, the Golden Hen is good. I like that one.
Yeah.
I had it once, though. Just once.
Yeah, I had it once also. John, you have Guinness. Now, Guinness had a mistake on their website. They were saying that the beer was 5% alcohol, but they were calling it malt liquor. And we were like, why are they calling it malt liquor? We couldn't understand. Well, it turns out they were wrong. It was 5.6% alcohol.
Right. And if you look at most malt liquors, Jay, and I'm going to interrupt, look at, Mickey's or maybe Colt 45, which are considered malt liquors, it would be under that category. But obviously this is more of a stout. And like I said, this is a beer that my father has had for years and years and years, and he's passed it down to his sons. And we sampled it, and I figured it'd be perfect for tonight since I chose not to plunk down the cash for the Old Speckled Hen, even though I knew it was available. So we already know the history of Guinness. There's really no need to go into it. To me, it is the godfather of stouts, and I'm enjoying it right now. This is my second bottle, and I'm about to, once I get done here, I'm going to bed. I'm feeling really good right now.
Hey, Sean. Yeah. Your family, but not you. You were born in New Jersey, right?
Right.
Your family came from Haiti.
Exactly. 1974, my mother, my father. Yes. And within the Caribbean community, if you'll probably see, if you go up north, and Nate probably know this, living in Boston, a lot of those from the West Indian countries, whether it be Jamaica, Trinidad, Martinique, Haiti, Domingo, Guinness is a very, very Tobago, Trinidad, Guinness is a very popular drink, and they love it a lot. And some of the health benefits too, They said he uses for drinks where I remember my dad made a drink years ago, and I don't know if he does, where he made a drink with Guinness and evaporated milk. And I had a cold and I drank it, and all of a sudden the next day I was ready to go ready to head back to school.
That's funny. Well, back in the around 1912, they used to advertise Guinness as something that nursing mothers needed to drink because they said it would help them.
Exactly.
Oh, but the do-gooders said, "Oh no, you can't do that." Now, I was looking on the website for the Brasserie de Haiti, and the people that make the Prestige.
Prestige, right? They
also produce Guinness, which is in a stubby bottle down there. But look, let me tell you something about Haiti. They don't play around with this 5.6% Guinness you're fooling with. In Haiti, Guinness is the 7.5 foreign extra stout. They don't play around. They want the 7.5 foreign extra stout.
And I hope they're drinking this at home. They're not going to be drinking this on the street during Carnival when it comes around February or whatever, March, whenever Fat Tuesday lands, because if they're going to be drinking around that time, watch out. Problems.
Yeah, I hope they're drinking Prestige.
Yes, I'd rather have a Prestige before I have 7.5% Guinness. I know that I'll be like, where am I?
Oh, but man,
who are you?
That Guinness foreign extra stout is dynamite, man. Hey, well,
we get the foreign extra stout here. I think you do too.
Yeah, I was looking at it today. I was looking at it today. I was in a grocery store today.
Rouse's.
And I saw it. I said, "Oh yeah." I started getting a craving for it. I was working, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I saw that foreign extra stout, and I was thinking to myself, "This is how foolish I am." I said, "I could drink that while I'm working here. Nobody would even notice." But of course, I didn't do it. But I was thinking to myself, I really would want to drink that right now. Obviously, I just drank coffee, though.
Right.
No, I did. I drank coffee, community coffee.
I believe you. I believe you.
I did. I drank community coffee, and then I drank some more coffee with lunch. It's funny, though. You say that. One time I was at work, and I'm not going to name where, because nobody on this planet knows where I work, and nobody knows what I do for a job. It's a mystery, y'all.
Right.
A big mystery. But anyway, I was at this place, and the manager of this place tells me, "You need to come into this back room. I need to talk to you." I said, "Uh-oh." And the other guy said, "You in trouble." I said, "Okay." So I go back into the room, and he says, "Look, I got all these beers that we're thinking about selling." He's got this table full of beers. I'm kidding you not. They just were delivered that morning. He said, "I need you to sit down and try all of them and make notes on it."
Wow.
He says, "But I know you're at work, but I don't think that you drinking all this beer is going to affect your work performance." I said, "Okay." So I came home and I made a video while I was at lunch called "Ordered to Drink Beer at Work," and it's still on YouTube. And I sat down and I had to taste like 8 of them, and some of these were like 8-9%. So I'm like tasting this, tasting that, tasting this. Well,
I love that job.
I said, how many people are told by their boss at work, "I want you to drink massive amounts of beer today at work"? And I went back there and I was like, "Yeah, you should buy this beer." But anyway, so that was a very bizarre story, but it's absolutely true. And I have video evidence of it. Hey, all right, so Carta Blanca, of course I would buy it again. Heck, $1.99 to 32 ounce, who wouldn't buy it? I bought it. I have to go get some more and finish it. Dave, I know you would buy this Pride of Cleveland.
Yeah, this is $7.99 for the 6-pack. I threw the can away. But yeah, $7.99 for the 6-pack.
Oh yeah, that's your typical price today.
That's a good price for craft beer.
Is that Dave? Is that beer pretty much? You said is reasonably priced, and is it? Do you see a lot of folks buying it a lot? In your area.
Oh, it flies off the shelf. Yeah. That's a good. It's a great local beer.
Is it available in not only singles but 6-pack, 12-pack, 30-pack?
As far as I know, it's only available in 6-pack cans. It was in 6-pack bottles, but the company went to cans, so now it's exclusively in cans.
Oh,
And what's the ABV on that beer?
What's that now?
What's the ABV on the beer?
ABV, I don't have the can in front of me, but I think it's 5.2.
Okay.
it's reasonable. Oh, the rumor around here, the rumor here is that Pabst Brewing is going to bring back Jax beer. If any of y'all ever come to New Orleans, I'll show you the Jax Brewery. I remember when Jax beer was still being produced. I remember going to the next to the brewery with the steam coming out the roof. The Jax is gone, but they say Pabst might bring it back. We still have Dixie here, but it's no longer made in New Orleans since Katrina hit. Thankfully, I got to go in that brewery 1 month exactly before the hurricane, and I was watching them brew the beer for a few minutes. Never dreaming that such a catastrophe was going to occur. So it's kind of neat to see these old brands come back. There is a rumor that Falstaff might be on the way back as well.
I'm waiting for Stroh's. I want Stroh's to come back. You know, Stroh's.
No, Stroh's never stopped. It just was pulled out of distribution in most places. No, Stroh's never stopped their production. So you're drinking a fine beer, Jean. Dave just drank a really good one. Nate drank a really good one. I'm drinking probably the least of the bunch, but I'm still enjoying the heck out of it. It's the first beer I've had tonight, and it's actually going to be the only beer I have tonight. This quart. I might drink some hot tea later, but
you and me both, man. What? You and me both. You know?
Oh, yeah. One more thing. My grandfather, he's 96 years old.
Oh, wow.
And
that's really good.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Wow. I'm going to try to go visit him tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to make it to 97 in December. He was at the Battle of the Bulge, but he was like a major beer drinker, and he said he loved Pilsners, and he was telling me how he used to love Lowenbrau, and he was so disgusted when they started making it in America under Miller, and they turned it into an adjunct lager. And he was always complaining. He said, "This is not the same Lowenbrau that I was drinking when I was in Prague." You know.
Yeah. Yeah, Lowenbrau 40 years ago was a good beer. Man, that was a great beer.
My dad used to drink Lowenbrau a lot. You know, the picture of the lion, Lowenbrau. Yep. Remember that? Yep. He drank that back in the early 80s. And
yeah, that was
now it's like.
That was probably when it was a Miller product.
40 years ago, that was a great beer. Man, I love that beer.
And you can't find it in America anymore, sadly.
No, I have not seen that beer for a long time.
Not in my area.
But y'all, one more thing. If you look on the Lowenbrau website, it is incredible. They have like 20 different beers they brew, none of which we can get here. Some of them are like 3.8% alcohol, and some of them are like 9%. It's incredible, you know, but and that's a company that's been in business for centuries. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Centuries. Yep. Well, next week we are going to do a beer that I think pretty much everybody can get. I hope so. It's called Wells Banana Bread Beer, which is, you know, a novelty product that you give people for Christmas, I guess. But you ever heard of that, Jean? Oh, Nate said I have one in my fridge.
Trying to think. I think I know one place I can get it, so I will be on the lookout, my friend.
Yeah. If you can't, private message me, and we'll work on that. Wells Banana Bread Beer, and then the next week, Young's Double Chocolate Stout.
Oh no, I like that one.
So we are
one of the very best chocolate stouts on the market, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially the nitro can, but I was not able to find the nitro can on my last search, so I just bought the bottle. But we are on an English binge right now, although I'm drinking Mexican beer, so what am I talking about? All right, at least Jean has Irish brewed, huh, Jean?
Top of the morning to you, my friend.
Jean, you're going to sleep so good tonight. Okay, so
I am. Very well. Very well.
He's sort of doing it right now. All right. Well, Hey, folks. Hey, Jean, when you work all day, hey.
Thank you, Jay. You understand?
So some
Yes.
people actually work.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
I was
right.
at work.
That's
I
right,
was at
Dave.
work. I was at work from 6 o'clock this morning till 2 o'clock today.
And so was I. Actually, I went at 5. I got home at 2. Yeah.
5. Okay, Nate, I sure appreciate you joining us, and I hope you can make it for the Wells banana bread since you have it in your fridge.
It is in my fridge. I don't know if it's any good. It's been in there for a while.
Oh, you've never had it?
Well, it's been in my fridge for a while. I've never had it, but it's also in my fridge. Like,
Well, keep it in the fridge. Put it in your stomach, man.
For how long?
do that. We'll see if it's an aging one or not.
Oh, it's easy drinking, man. Let it warm up, though. Don't drink it cold.
Nope.
All right.
It'll definitely be cold.
I think mine is a little fresher because I just bought mine. All right. Well, hey, folks, thanks for watching this. If you did watch it, I see we had 7, 8, 9, up to 10 viewers at one point. So everyone take care. Have a good weekend coming up. I hope your football team wins. I hope your baseball team makes the playoffs. And everybody be safe and careful and responsible. Good night.
Good night, America and the world.
Yes, in the world.